Hello, my dear students. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangatan's online classes. Students, today we will be learning chapter number 7 of our biology textbook, that is evolution. Okay. Now, this chapter called evolution, for our convenience and to make your concepts more easier, we have divided and categorized into 5 different sessions, right? And the topic for today's discussion will be the origin of life and life forms, right? Now, this is a very interesting chapter as a whole, and also interesting topic, as we will discuss how did the life originated on earth, how the life forms have existed on this earth, what changes that have taken place, right? And also we will look into the various experiments performed by scientists to prove that how life originated on earth. So isn't it interesting to find out? Let's go into the topic now. Now, the 5 units, the 5 sessions that will be divided in this chapter are: number 1, origin of life and life forms. Second session will be on evidences of evolution, adaptive radiation and natural selection. The third session will be on biological evolution, mechanism of evolution and Hardy-Weinberg principle. Fourth will be on a brief account of evolution, followed by a very interesting topic and concept will be on origin of evolution of man. Okay, so now let us go into the learning outcomes or objectives that what we will be able to gain at the end of this session. Now, at the end of this session, you will be able to analyze the age of earth and universe, right? The age of the earth and the universe. Now, why is it so? It is because if you examine the age of, that is the origin of life on earth, it is linked with the origin of universe, isn't it? The origin of life on planet earth is linked with the origin of universe. So we have to understand the origin of universe as a whole to understand the origin of earth. And we will also explain and differentiate between different theories that were put forward by scientists and thinkers to explain the origin of life and life forms on earth. Okay, we'll go into the details of one by one. Okay, we'll also discuss about the origin of life on earth and the limitations of different theories, why some of the theories have been proved wrong, and what are the other implications of these theories, what is the correct theory, and how these were being proved by scientists. So all those aspects will be covered in our first session. Now, before we go into this session 1, now to just recall your knowledge of evolution from the previous classes, right? In class 10th you have heard and you have learnt about evolution, right? Where you know that what are the diversity of living organisms on earth. Now we estimate about 1.7 to 1.8 million species are today found on the earth. So how such great diversity of living forms have originated on earth, right? So it must not have happened in a 1 year or a day or a month. So it has occurred so gradually and slowly, isn't it? And also we will know that the evolution of life can be understood against the background of origin of universe. As I said before, if we want to understand the origin of life on earth, we have to understand the origin of universe as a whole, right? Describe the process of evolution with respect to beetles, right? If you recall, you understood how the beetles, okay, in class 10th, the 3 different situations where the red beetles, the green beetles and the blue beetles were selected by the nature slowly, and then evolved into new species. Then artificial selection in wild cabbage, that how we're able to have some different sorts of vegetables as per our need, we have modified it. And of course the human evolution, a brief account of human evolution, right? And also the chemical evolution supports the idea of origin of universe, okay, where we know that how the theories of chemical evolution supports the idea of origin of universe put forward by various scientists, right? So without wasting much time, okay, right, we will go into our discussion part of our topic today, okay, and let us go into now. Now, what exactly is evolution? Had anybody observed evolution? That is a basic question that comes to our mind, right? So evolution actually is a Latin term that means unrolling or unfolding. Okay, it's just a slow and gradual change from one condition to another. Okay, it is a change in the heritable characteristics of the biological populations. Okay, populations over successive generations. Now, how these characteristics are formed in the organisms? These characteristics are formed, which are the nothing but the expression of genes, and these characteristics will be passed on from generation to generation. So the moment the life appeared on earth, we can say the natural selection has been into action. Okay, so let us go into the actual part of the today's topic. Now, what is this study of life forms on earth called? So there is a branch of biology called evolutionary biology, right? This evolutionary biology will be helping us to understand the study of life forms on earth, the diverse nature of the life forms today on earth. If we look at the plants, some lower plants to highly complicated plants, the flowering plants, angiosperms, right from the lower invertebrates or non-chordates to highly chordates or mammals which are able to survive today. So all these complexities matter a lot for us, right? So let us go into the origin of universe. Now universe, as we all know, it is about 20 billion years old. And what is it made up of? It is made up of huge cluster of galaxies, and galaxies contain stars. Then we have got the clouds of gas and dust. Okay, now how do we explain the origin of universe, right? A theory namely called Big Bang theory explains the origin of universe, and according to this, what it says, a huge explosion occurred in the universe. The temperature came down and the hydrogen and helium were formed later, right? The galaxies then formed due to the condensation of gases under gravitation, that is the gravitation force of the sun. So in this way the galaxies were formed, right? In this way the universe was formed, and earth being the member of a galaxy, that is Milky Way, that is how earth was formed. So it is very interesting to note that how the Big Bang theory explains about the origin of earth here, right? Now coming to the next topic about origin of earth. So when was earth formed then? Earth was formed some 4.5 billion years back. Okay, now initially the surface of the earth was having a different sort of atmosphere, right, which is not found today. It was filled with or covered with water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide and ammonia. Okay, and what happened to the UV rays? The UV rays of the sun broke water into hydrogen and oxygen, right? So slowly and slowly oxygen remained, that is slowly released into the atmosphere. Of course, there was another important sequence that occurred at that time, that is the earlier small plant like organisms or cells which could take up the gases from the atmosphere and which could release the oxygen back into the atmosphere. Now hydrogen escaped and oxygen combined with ammonia and methane to form water, carbon dioxide and other gases also forming the ozone layer. So this ozone layer that what we talk of today, which is a very environmental issue for us, where we talk about the protection of the layer now. So it plays a very important role. So this is had to be protected, the conserved, this layer has to be protected at all costs. So that is why this ozone layer is a very important matter for us. The cooling of water vapor led to the rain which filled the depressions on earth's surface, forming water bodies. Now the question is how these oceans, the mighty oceans, the water bodies are formed. So scientists believe that they were the craters were formed due to the huge invasion or the attack of the meteors. So when meteors hit the earth's surface, they created large craters, and because of those large craters formed, the rain then filled these craters with water bodies, and today these mighty oceans and all such things were formed. Okay children, so that's a very interesting to note how this namely the water bodies are formed and how this is going to help us in a later way, right? Let us go into the evolution at a glance. As I said, evolution is simply namely a Latin word which means unrolling or unfolding. Okay, so let us see a small tabular form to understand the various theories of origin of life. So in 1927, Lee Martyr, that is, explained the Big Bang theory, which says the universe expanded from explosion of a primordial hot substance, right? In 1924 to 29, Oparin, Haldane, Alexander Oparin and JBS Haldane. So they, both of them, they proposed the chemical evolution theory. So which says that chemical evolution preceded organic evolution. And what is this organic evolution? Organic in the terms, that is the plants and animals. So evolution in terms of plants and animals is referred as organic evolution. So what does it conclude? What does it conclude? Simple organic molecules originated from inorganic substances, inorganic precursors, which may be RNA, which may be proteins and such like that. Okay, now what about the importance of this Stanley Miller, okay, and Harold Urey? In 1953, Miller, American scientist, he proved the theory of chemical evolution put forward by Haldane and Oparin. So he created atmosphere just like the atmosphere that looked some millions of years ago, and then he was able to conclude that the amino acids are synthesized from ammonia, oxygen and carbon dioxide inside some special apparatus. We will look into the details of such all the experiments later on. Okay, so then when did life appeared on Earth? Now we know that is the age of the Earth now, isn't it? Now the age of the Earth is there, but the life did not appear on the Earth as soon as the Earth was formed, the young Earth. Now why? Because the conditions on that Earth were not suitable to support any life form. So therefore, life appeared 500 million years after the formation of Earth. Isn't it? Life appeared 500 million years after the formation of Earth. And let us see into the details what are the various theories to explain the origin of life. The first theory is called the theory of special creation. So according to this theory, there is some divine power, there is some supernatural power, and God created life by his divine act of creation. Okay, so we do by mythologists. Second theory, according, that is the theory of panspermia, or theory of, that is cosmozoid theory. According to early Greek thinkers, what they said? They said according to them, there are some units of life called spores or panspermia. So these spores or panspermia, which are the living bodies, they came from outer space. So as they fell onto the earth, life began. So not only here, they may expect that life could have been originated some on other planets as well. Okay, so these spores, they came from outer space, fell onto the earth, and as a result, life came into existence. Now coming to the theory of spontaneous generation. Okay, so according to theory of spontaneous generation, what it says, our life originated from the decaying and rotting matter like straw and mud. So that is again a very important thing to understand. So according to them, the life originated from decaying and rotting matter. Okay, but Louis Pasteur disproved the theory of what you call spontaneous generation. So how did he do that? Right, so Louis Pasteur, by careful experimentation, demonstrated that life comes only from the pre-existing life. Okay, so for this, what he did, he did a small experiment on pre-sterilized flasks. So he showed that in pre-sterilized flasks, life did not come from the killed yeast. No, what it did? Life did not come from the killed yeast. Right, while in other one, when the flask was open to air, okay, new living organisms arose from the killed yeast. Okay, so this was how Louis Pasteur dismissed the theory of spontaneous generation, and he concluded that life came from pre-existing life only. Okay, now to understand the theory of chemical evolution, the experimental proof of chemical evolution, so we have one diagram, okay, diagram to understand, that is figure 7.1, which explains us the experimental setup of Stanley Miller to prove the chemical evolution, okay, preceded, that is organic evolution preceded the chemical evolution, put forward by JBS Haldane, and that is Haldane and Oparin and Haldane. Okay, so what he did, so here had this flask, okay, and there were gases taken into this like methane, ammonia, water vapor and hydrogen, and then a spark was created about at 800 degrees temperature. centigrade. So when this temperature, that is at this temperature, so this spark was exactly resembling to a lightning, thunder. So what happened? So chemical reaction occurred inside the flask, and after a week when we analyzed the contents, we could see some substances form inside. Okay, so what were those substances? See here, let us go to the next slide to understand the main objective behind this. Okay, so what was the experimental setup? In a closed flask containing methane, hydrogen, ammonia and water vapor, and at temperature of 800 degrees centigrade, electric discharge was created. Okay, the conditions were similar to those which were found in the primitive atmosphere of the earth, right? And then after a week, when they analyzed the contents of the flask, they found amino acids, okay, and complex molecules like sugars, nitrogen bases, pigments and fats, which today we consider as an important building blocks of life, isn't it? So the cells, that what we say, the cells as a life, so the cells usually contains all these the materials which are the building blocks of life. So any living organism ought to have these kind of substances in order to say they are living. So molecules like sugars, nitrogen bases, pigments and the fats in the flask, all these were considered to be the found inside the flask. So what did they conclude? They concluded that it provides experimental evidence for the theory of chemical origin put forward by Oparin and Haldane, that is chemical evolution, and it showed the first non-cellular forms of life was created about 3 billion years ago, and also showed that non-cellular biomolecules exist in the form of DNA, RNA, polysaccharides and protein. Okay, so how to know that the first form of life, how could it resemble life, how did it look like? So scientists predict it may be like this. Okay, so the image in front of you will help you to understand that what first life could appear, the first cell could appear, how the first cell look like. So it may be in the form of these images. It could have a lipid membrane, right, lipid membrane, and then inside we have the double stranded RNA. You can see the duplication of RNA going on. Okay, then the other materials which are the nutrients being taken up by the cell, using that nutrients for the metabolism of the cells of the body, and then also removing the waste from the body. So metabolism, that is using the substances for the construction of some biomolecules in the body. It was started from the first cell, that what we talk about. Okay, children, right? And also when we come to know that from these single cells, okay, there is also one theory, that is which shows the theory of biogenesis. Okay, that is, a first form of life arose slowly through evolutionary forces from non-living molecules is accepted by majority. That is what the theory of biogenesis explains to us. Okay, children, so that is also a very, very important thing to note. Now let us go into the recapitulation part of the session 1. So here, what did you learn in the first session? In the first session you learned about, first of all, what is evolution, a slow and gradual change, okay, or change in the changes in the heritable characteristics, and these features will be expression of genes, okay, that is will be transferred from parents to offsprings, from one generation to another generation. Okay, you also understood how the origin of universe is ultimate for the origin of life on earth. So if you want to understand the origin of life on earth, isn't it, so we have to understand against the backdrop of origin of universe. Okay, so that's a very, very important link to understand. They also compared, that is, you have seen what are the various theories put forward by thinkers, scientists, and all the possible reasons for the origin of life on earth. So that is a very, very interesting aspect. They understand the chemical evolution, the formation of biomolecules preceded the appearance of life forms on earth, isn't it? So what, according to JBS Haldane and Oparin states, that chemical evolution preceded the origin of life forms on earth. They concluded that complex life forms that we see today, isn't it, the complexity, the diversity of life forms that is about 1.7 to 1.8 million species that we find today, all are the result of gradual changes in an environment that have taken place in the what you call and the life forms in the coming what you call in the last part. Now coming to the instant assessment, okay, we have some multiple choice questions for you. Theory that states about the origin of universe, we have got 4 choices: A. Panspermia, B. Biogenesis, C. Big Bang theory, and D. Abiogenesis. You know the answer. Okay, the answer is about the Big Bang theory, isn't it? So that is also a very important answer. Okay, so Big Bang theory, right? Then when was the Earth formed? So that is you all know about 4.5 billion years ago. Okay, 20 million years ago. Okay, 20 million years ago, and 20 billion years ago, and 4.5 billion years ago, 4.5 million years ago. So it was 4.5 billion years ago. Who proposed the first form of life could have come from the pre-existing non-living organic molecules? Okay, so what is this theory states about? Chemical evolution. Okay, so it is nothing but Oparin and Haldane. Okay, Alexander Oparin and J.B.S. Haldane who put forward this theory. Okay, answers for you in front of you. We have also some questions for your home assignment. Please do write these questions in your homework notebook and submit to your teacher. Okay, so name the theory which explains the origin of universe. You know, Big Bang. According to Greek thinkers, what were transferred? You know about this: small spores or panspermia units, life units. Okay, then when did life appear on Earth? Name the condition that favored the Earth. Okay, when did life appear? About 500 million years after the formation of Earth. The conditions that favored the life on Earth, you know, the young Earth did not favor any life, because the young Earth did not have those climatic conditions to support any life on Earth. Okay, so it was only after 500 years. So it took a lot of years to come to life on exist on Earth, yet it has given a great diversity of life forms. Then we have a very interesting question in front of you, that is D. Name the condition that favor the life on Earth. Various conditions are there, isn't it? Like high temperature, volcanic storms, reducing atmosphere, containing ammonia. That is also very interesting one. Name the naturalist who set his voyages at HMS Beagle. So here we talk about the person, a naturalist, a British naturalist who had been remembered and who have been called as father of evolution. Exactly, you are right. We are talking about Charles Robert Darwin. So he was the one to give us various theories and then to support which we are today following. We also have certain fill in the blanks for you. Okay, now the first non-cellular forms of life, okay, originated till about some dash, find out from by yourself. According to Darwin, fitness refers to. So what fitness did he refer to in order to allow the organism to survive? Right, a scientist dash who demonstrated life comes only from the pre-existing life, and the geological history of the earth correlates with the dash history of the earth. That's a very interesting question. You go, and we have also answers here. Okay children, so if you want to have a further reading on this topic, this session, you can even refer some books like NCERT Exemplar and other good reference books to make your topic more easy to understand. We got some website links also for you where you can be guided by some internet reading. I also have an animation video to link. We can watch online video. So this presentation has been made completely for academic purposes, and we have used biology textbook and other Diksha platform for making this topic. And the next session, children, will be for will be on the evidences of evolution. Okay, so it's a very interesting topic as a whole, interesting chapter as a whole, because we are now digging into such facts which actually nobody knew, right? So we are talking about very old and very ancient conditions, okay, and it's very interesting. So each and every day when we find new things in this, so that looks very interesting. So such is the topic of evolution, which is never ending. Okay, it never ends. Okay, so because every day somewhere here and there on the globe, scientists will be excavating things and they will be finding out certain aspects or proofs which will be linking to with the topics for what we study. Okay children, and this is SSJ Pasha presenting you the topics of today and the entire sessions of our chapter of evolution, and this is the task force behind to make these topics very easy for you to understand. Different types of work has been undertaken to make your concepts look easily to understand and score good. Okay, so thank you very much children for viewing, and this is a ZIET Bhubaneswar presentation. Keep watching. Thank you.